if you're considering swapping in an LS into one of your E-chassis BMWs, obviously one of the biggest limiting factors is budget, right? So I've got the damages here on this car, about what it costs to do a full complete swap on this. Just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown in case you were interested on the total amount that I have invested into this car to get it running and driving. Let's just get right into the numbers. 2009, 128 right here, 200,000 miles, picked it up a couple of states over, $3,000 total for the whole car. Ran and drove just fine. I drove it an hour and a half home. I drove it around for about a full week, make sure there was nothing really wrong with it, but the N52 that was in there ran okay. It just had really high mileage. I would expect to pay about a similar price for any kind of nice donor car. You can find donor cars that don't have an engine or transmission in them already for as low as $700 to $1,000. But if you want something that has any kind of nice body on it, I would probably expect to pay between $2,000 and $3,000. Or if you want a really nice starting point, I would probably recommend starting with at least a 135 if you can find a really cheap 135. I had found one for $3,000. I actually had a black 135 and I chose to swap this car instead. If I could do it all over again, I probably would have just did the 135. Probably would have saved me a lot of hassle with the drivetrain. But regardless, if you're going to start with a 135, I'd probably expect to pay $5,000 for a kind of beat up one these days. But that's where you're going to be at with the starting price. Maybe you already have one of these things and you're not even concerned about the starting price. But that was my starting price, $3,000. Engine, let's get right into it. I had the engine, I had a long block here in the garage, an LS1 long block, fully forged, that I actually didn't pay for. It was a friend of mine's motor that we got traded a whole bunch of different things for. So the engine was just a block though. I had a set of cylinder heads here in the garage also as well. And I had a bunch of miscellaneous things, valve covers, coil packs, and some other miscellaneous stuff that you need to put these cars together. But I did not have a lot of the valve train. I needed a cam kit. I needed all new gaskets. I needed a bunch of hardware, all kinds of bolts. And all of that totaled came out to about $1,050. That was just to get like the engine assembled. That wasn't any of the accessories or anything like that. So on top of that, for an intake manifold, a starter, an alternator, a throttle body, a water pump, and an oil pan, we're at like $1,350. So not cheap, of course, to get one of these cars, you know, fully accessorized. It would be probably cheaper just to have a pull out of a 5.3 or a 6 liter out of a junkyard, and you could just swap the oil pan out and put it in. It would probably be cheaper, but most people are going to at least do the valve train and cam kit upgrade to one of those before putting it in. So no matter what, even on top of the engine, you're probably still at a minimum of $1,000 to at least put a cam and some gaskets in it and stuff like that, and just do a general check over. But that's where we're at on this particular build. So LSE90, you're going to have to do a bunch of shopping on their website. I recommend just grabbing everything that he has for the swap kit. We're looking at the LS swap kit for a accessory drive with the AC compressor, the Sadin AC compressor setup, $755. All of his AC lines, $265. The compressor, $130, and his cam box, $250. So that's like $1,400 out the door from LSE90 for all of the swap materials to get the engine mounted into the car and the accessory drive done, like almost ready to drive almost. And I think that's honestly a really good deal. That's a lot better than most other like swap kits that you would get for other BMWs that you would need to put an LS in. Next up on the list is a transmission, also going to vary for a lot of you guys. I used a T56. I had a T56 in the garage that I purchased 10 years ago for $1,500. So I kind of count that as $0 now because it's been so long, but it technically was $1,500. And of course with that, you're going to need a clutch kit. From Tick, I got mine, the LS7 Clutch Kit for $600. Shifter, $200. Hydraulics, which includes like the Fabot clutch pedal line, the pedals, the shifter boot. So basically everything for the T56 with the mount and everything to get it into the car, $1,100. That's on top of the $1,500 for the transmission. The next item we're looking at is getting exhaust run out to the back of the car. So you can buy the LSE90 headers, great value for the long tubes on that car. That's an awesome choice too. I went with the CX Racing mid-length headers, so it comes with like mid-leg headers and then like pipes that kind of shoot it down underneath of the seat area down there. So between the set of headers, coating them, I had them ceramic coated. I bought like a used Berk 135i street muffler, and then I had to buy a couple of other miscellaneous bends and V-bands. So for the total for the exhaust was $1,380, kind of steep. Obviously you can do it cheaper. You can just buy Mike's headers and connect them up to the stock exhaust that you have on the car, the stock BMW exhaust, or however you're going to want to do it. Like again, you can save money in lots of places here on this spot. Driveshaft, you're going to have to get one custom made, unless you're using the BMW transmission, which I don't really recommend. $570 plus the $109 differential adapter. So you're at like $690 out the door for a driveshaft that connects from the T56 to the rear differential, the stock rear differential. The Terminator X-Max, prices on these have kind of gone up since I bought mine. When I bought the Terminator X-Max for this car, it was $1,650. So add another $200 for a couple of extra sensors that I bought from Low Dollar Motorsports, feel for fuel pressure and oil pressure, and a couple of extra dollars for miscellaneous wiring and relays. I had most of this stuff here, but you are going to have some 0 gauge cable, some 4 gauge cable, some just generic, 12 or 14 gauge wire laying around, some heat sleeving, and all kinds of other miscellaneous things that I happen to have here in the garage already. But I would probably $400 or $500 in extra wiring if you don't have anything and you're starting from scratch. The next thing up on the list is fuel system. This can be pretty cheap or it can be really expensive, kind of depending on what you're doing with the car. For now, this is LS1 with a cam in it, so the stock fuel system is working just fine. I had to buy a set of injectors, Deka 80-pound injectors, $360 from VS Racing, as well as some money for miscellaneous fuel lines and fittings. It doesn't require a whole lot of fuel line just because you're going from the fuel line by the firewall up to the engine, and a couple of miscellaneous fittings. So I had $200 in lines and fittings for the fuel system. So, about $570 in total for the fuel system. Of course, if you're turboing it, you're going to need to run either a surge tank, and your fuel system's going to blow up from $570 to $1,570. Cooling system is pretty cheap on this one, $200. It just basically is miscellaneous hoses and fittings and stuff. So you can find that all on my other videos. I have it all broken down part by part. If you just want to copy the setup, it really isn't that expensive. You need a couple of Gates hoses and some other miscellaneous fittings to get it all plumbed in, but pretty straightforward. Using the OEM expansion tanks, save some money there. Air intake manifold, or just the intake pipe, just a 90-degree pipe, a couple of silicone fittings, air filter, $150, not too bad. The catch can, Mighty Mouse catch can, again, not needed. I wanted to put one on there, $350. Fluids, oil, transmission, differential fluid, just miscellaneous stuff you're gonna need, $180. $13,455. Let's just round that right up to $14,000. There's easily $500 of stuff that I missed in there that's just miscellaneous ordering from Amazon or somewhere else just to get everything together. So $14,000 to get the LS1 fully dressed, assembled in the car, running and driving. That doesn't include everything else that I did to the car, drivetrain wise, and wheels and tires and brakes and all that good stuff. That's just to get the LS swap done and running. So I mean, honestly, $14,000 to have a V8 powered 1 Series, that's totally reasonable to me. That's what most people are asking for a stock 135 these days that's got 80, 100, 120,000 miles, just full of problems and stuff that you're going to have to blow the engine's going to blow up on you soon anyway. So I think for 14 grand out the door, it's a hell of a car to have running and driving for that price range. So can you do it cheaper? Of course. Can you do it more expensive? Oh yeah, you can. If you were just going to go into one of these cars with doing an LS3 from GM for $11,000 and a brand new T56 Magnum F for $5,000, you're already past my entire budget for just the engine and transmission. Or you can do an $800 5.3 liter iron block out of a junkyard and slap it right in and probably cut that cost down to $9,000 or $8,000 total into the full car with purchasing one. So again, you can do it as cheap or as expensive as you want. This is just how I went about it, and I think this is probably going to be a pretty typical price for most people to get an LS swap done into one of these 1 Series or 3 Series. Again, I don't really think that that's too bad of a cost, honestly, for the kind of excitement and car that you're getting.